Hi everyone, welcome to this special session of Sanskriti, a YouTube live every Friday at 4 p.m. We have first Friday and third Friday for life in 20s, and second and fourth Friday is for life as parents. So this week, first Saturday, we are starting with life at 20s. Happy New Year to everybody. We are sure you're enjoying it. And now today, to make this session a special, I would like to tell you what is special about today. We have our special guest from across ocean, or let me not take too much time. We have our guest today from Australia, Gulshan. So can we invite Gulshan out here? Hi, Gulshan.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very
Na-
good. I'm very good. How are you?
Nice to see you. How's weather in Australia?
It's at the moment summers are going on, so
Okay.
it's 29 degrees. So it's really hot.
Wow.
Like it's sweaty and hot. But then it's unpredictable because where I live in Adelaide, it's really unpredictable. Sometimes it's too cold and sometimes it's just too warm. So at the moment it's good. It's really nice.
I totally appreciate that point. Interestingly, in North India, it's too varied from I'll say 10 degree to even 2 degrees.
Oh yeah, I heard that. My friends they were telling me
Great.
it's good.
So uh, we have Gulshan pursuing masters. And Gulshan, why don't you tell about yourself a little more?
So basically, now that you know my name already, I'm Gulshan, and I'm pursuing masters in design, and my design is little bit research based. So we are basically researching on how design can help not just in sustainability but other social aspects of the society. Because if you see around you, everything is designed from your table to the specs that you're wearing, from the headphones that you're wearing, from the jacket that you're wearing. Everything has a design element in that. And how being a designer, being a professional from such a variety of fields that a designer can get into, this particular field is looking into how we can make the user more consumer conscious so that it helps, in future we need to be more sustainable because
Yeah.
what we are doing at the moment, all sorts of things that we hear about, global warming, environmental issues, we're running out of resources, carbon footprints are just too much. So this is a research on that, how design can help us gain control over these things. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment, and I'm doing it from a small place in Australia called Adelaide. It's the capital of South Australia. It's a beautiful city, newly. It's developing. It's developed. Half of it is developed. Half of it is developing, and it has a lot of countryside. So it's a lot to explore here. So I'm
Yeah.
really enjoying that. Yeah.
So before we go ahead, Happy New Year to you
Happy
and
New Year.
everybody watching us.
Yes.
Yes. So Gulshan, you know this program which is we are conducting on Life in 20s,
Mhm.
and you being millennial by yourself. Millennials are people who are making huge difference to the world, to the environment. I belong to Gen X.
Yeah.
Now, uh, when I meet my Gen X counterparts,
Mhm.
or when I meet uh, millennials, or rather, if I say Gen Z also, I find huge difference in thought process.
Yeah.
What?
I think Sanjeev, your video is lagging again. I can't really hear you. So if you can just switch to the other device, maybe.
Uh, yeah, I'll repeat again. I think there was some. Yeah, I'll just give me a moment. Yes. Yeah. Is it better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see you for some reason. Just a
You can't
second.
see me. Just check if it is
Are you
possible.
on the other screen? Need to view the gallery.
Gallery view,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can
Can
see
you see
you.
me
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Perfect. So what I would say, the way it is going, the way it is, I being from Gen X and a lot of baby boomers I meet millennials. I find huge gap between millennials and Gen X.
hmm Yeah.
What do you feel? How is this gap helping you, helping all of us?
Um, I think there's a gap which I feel when I meet um, people from Gen X and people from my generation and people from, because I live with my sister and she's 6 years younger to me,
Yeah.
her generation also. So when I
So
see
Gen Z also.
Gen Z, Gen X, Gen all the generations. If you see,
Absolutely.
there's so much of a difference in thought processes and the
Yeah.
way technology has changed all of us. Um, but if I speak about Gen X, which is my parents' generation or your generation, I certainly feel that there's a sort of wisdom that we can get from there as people being in 20s,
Okay.
because we really need that at the moment, even though there's a generation gap which sometimes you really can't figure out. It creates conflict, but then I personally feel that it teaches you a lot also,
Right.
in terms of it's just for the matter of fact, the major gap that I feel between these two generations is of the technology,
Okay.
and also the way you think. Due to technology, our processes are changing. The way I think is different from what my dad thinks, because
Yeah.
I got so much to explore through the world of technology that I got used to, and he has a different way of thinking.
True.
So it helps me to basically see the way he thinks about an object or a situation. And then also sometimes when my sister thinks about the same um, situation from her point of view,
Yeah.
it's there's also so much to learn from her, because I
I
think she's she's
appreciate.
she's wiser than both of us. Sometimes when she talks, I'm just like, wow,
Yeah.
this is so nice. And she's used to things that I'm not used to. So there's always, there are always gaps that could be filled by different generations and different perspectives. Yeah.
So tell me, Gulshan, what challenges do you get as a 20s in present situation? You all are gadget wise too expert.
Yeah.
You are technologically faster than all of us. Now, with
hmm
all those consideration, um, what challenges do you face in your growth? Because you are the future of the world.
yeah. um the challenges I face personally, out of experience, is that I feel there's a lot to explore, and I don't have enough time to do it,
Okay.
because I got so much exposure already to things due to the independence that I got in from my parents, and the different kind of experiences technology gave us,
Yeah.
and you see so many people exploring different things on social media, and you also want to do it, and it's so easy to reach these things There's always a link attached to it that, okay, you can do this. Hobbies are turning into professions. And if there are 5 different hobbies that you're doing, you want to basically show it to the world and have take out enough time to explore these hobbies. So the challenge that I face is to sometimes slow down. You know? Although I think I'm at a very slow pace myself, but still I feel that I need to slow down. I really need to take out time to do what I really like. You know, probably sometimes I just want to do things because it looks nice when someone else does it. So I just miss out on that connection, whether I really like it or I'm just doing it because others are doing it.
It's like showing to the world or
Yeah,
just to
or just
impress
exploring it by
somebody
yourself,
or by
like
exploring by
and
yourself.
yeah. So even if if you just want to explore it for yourself,
Yeah,
not to like to show it to people, but you really need to really see whether you really want to take that thing forward or you're just doing it for the sake of doing it.
absolutely.
Because there's so many things to explore. Like for example, a few days ago I saw this person playing piano at the station, at a metro station. And then there was a I was just walking through that station and I saw a pamphlet of a class, like a piano class, which I could take. I was
Uh,
like, maybe let's do this. And then when you start doing it, you just you for it, at the beginning of the process you feel whether I will start enjoying it once I learn it, or you need to take enough time to actually master that art.
yeah,
And then you're just missing out on so many other things. You don't even know whether you want to do it or not, and there's so many
yeah.
other things that you are already doing. So
So,
that's the main challenge that I face.
Gulshan,
To
you
slow
saying that being in the fast age, on one side, it's very much advantageous, but on the other
Yeah.
side, there are other challenges you're facing. Am I right?
Yes,
How do you
absolutely.
think to overcome such challenge?
um what I've been introspecting on is that there are certain things that I've been doing for a really long time in my life now,
Okay.
and I try to come back to those things instead of trying new things. Like, coming back to what I've already explored,
Okay.
like in terms of hobbies, in terms of education, in terms of courses, in terms of um, relationships, everything. Like, just coming back to what I already have first and trying to explore them more, because the more you explore the same thing, it surprises you with new things every day.
So
So,
that's one thing what you're sharing. So,
yeah.
Gulshan, probably if I give you an opportunity that if you're talking today and you're representing millennials or people in their 20s all across the globe, and while
Yeah.
people would be watching live and would be watching this video later, uh,
Mm.
would you like to ask this to know more about this particular challenge, or would you like to ask something else which is more important for you? As
Ask the
well,
millennials.
no, ask
Yeah.
today in this session that what you just asked is a bigger challenge, or you have a different question you would like to connect today for which you want to overcome.
No, I think this is the challenge that I really feel, which I also face, and I feel everybody else around me is also facing. And uh, not in the same way, probably. It might just be in a different from a different perspective, but then slowing down is something that we all really need to do. And we are not able to do it because we have so much to do, so many things to do, and the time is just running so fast. Like, I feel
Perfect.
it just runs. Like last year, I can't even believe that it's over.
So good. People were
It's over.
talking pandemic, and it's over in that duration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
the challenge that I feel it really needs to be addressed
so
is
let's
whether
talk on this subject today. Is it okay?
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
mind.
so my as a Generation X, what I feel, one, very candidly, Gulshan, that your generation, all the millennials and generation after you, your sister, who is Generation Z, okay,
Mm-hmm.
all of you have huge talent which we never had.
Mm.
हमारे टाइम में जो सपना था ना, वो आप लोगों ने साकार कर दिया एक तरीके से. You people have grab over everything across the world. You
Mm.
have all the information on a click of button. In
Button,
fact,
yeah.
you people taught us how to find the information across the globe. But while you reach to this stage, I'm trying to ask you, okay, and you will get to know. When you were kid, this digital age was not so high.
Yeah.
It is high in last few years.
Yeah.
Your transformation in a life as a child, which was the foundation for you as a
Hmm.
young age, you learned the process of living life in a different manner.
Yeah.
Now, when you've grown up, you see an entirely different thing, and this is another world altogether. Many people like me or our category, वो तो इस बात से
Mm.
परेशान है कि ये बच्चे कर क्या रहे हैं, कहाँ जाएंगे.
Yeah.
I'll share you with example. I was traveling in Delhi metro once, and I had some accident, so I had some plaster sort of thing in my leg, and
Mm-hmm.
light wala, and I was standing at one corner, and nobody gave me seat.
Mm-hmm.
I was standing there, and there was one aged person around 60s or something
Mm-hmm.
standing near me, and he all of a sudden started looking at me at my leg ऐसे. अब मेरे को समझ में तो आ रहा है कि वो क्या कर रहे हैं, but then he couldn't control, and all of a sudden he says, आजकल को बच्चों का क्या होगा, ये देखो सबके सब मोबाइल पे लगे हुए हैं, किसी को ये फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि आपके पैर में चोट लगी हुई है, आपस में बातचीत कर लो. And he was, and then he kept on singing, and then he kept quiet and looked at me. So I asked him, are you telling me something?
Hmm.
हाँ हाँ, मैं आप ही को बोल रहा हूँ, तो आपको चोट लगी हुई है. मैंने अच्छा, मैंने आपकी बात तो सुनी.
Hmm.
मेरा क्वेश्चन आपसे, आपको इन सबसे परेशानी क्या है? And he was quiet. ये क्या बोल रहे हैं? मतलब उन्होंने सारी बात अभी तक मेरे मतलब की बोली, एंड ऑल ऑफ अ सडन आई एम सेइंग कि परेशानी क्या है. मैं देखो भाई साहब, बात सुनो, ये जितने बच्चे हैं, ये वही कर रहे हैं जो हमने और आपने इनको सिखाया.
Hmm.
क्या मतलब? मैंने कहा आपने और हमने जब छोटे थे, हमारे को हमारे पेरेंट्स बाहर जाने देते थे, किसी से मिलने देते थे, खुले में घूमते थे. हमने और अपने अपने बच्चों को क्या सिखाया? बी एट होम, डोंट टॉक टू unknown
Yeah.
people. Okay,
Yeah.
be careful. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they have got an instrument. They're engaged with something. Somebody's gaining knowledge, somebody's looking for something. What's wrong in this? And the moment I said this, everybody into that coach started looking at us and started smiling.
That's
So
so true. That is true if you look at it. Yeah,
yeah,
that's yeah.
and that's where I would say I connect with all you people so much, because हमने ठीक है, as you rightly said Gulshan, ki we have wisdom and you may gain some wisdom, but
Hmm.
practically my wisdom, if I try to enforce on you or you
Yeah,
your category, that's the worst thing I think I can do.
you can do. Yeah, yeah,
One,
that's true. Imposing.
that's from my side. If I talk
Hmm.
from your side, you have learned something from us, but you should be very much aware how to balance your life.
Mm.
What I have experienced with most of the people in your age, in your 20s, middle 30s, okay, they're stuck between the traditions, we people are trying to enforce on you,
Yeah.
and what you want to live the world today wants you to live like,
Yeah.
or forget the world, even the way you want to live वो भी नहीं
Mm-hmm.
कर पा रहे हो, and you people are confused. Am I right or
Mm.
wrong?
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So when you say that, so in this fast age you need to slow down, your this statement comes from the fact between tradition and the fast. How do you manage yourself? Do you agree?
Uh, yeah, lekin it was not like from the tradition, because when I see for myself personally, and the people that also I've met here or in India, we had, because coming from Auroville, coming from a place like Auroville and meeting people there we actually didn't have restrictions from the parents.
True. Absolutely.
If you're living in a place like that, you are already free.
Yeah.
Your parents have already given you the freedom to do whatever you want to do. And that's I was blessed because my parents gave me that freedom to
Absolutely.
explore
Wow.
as
Awesome.
much as I want to do. And in that also, I had so much in front of me.
Mm.
It was like a bundle full of things that
Okay.
I wanted to explore. And the challenge there, what I felt was कि हाँ, ये जो ट्रेडिशन की हम बात कर रहे हैं, जो सोसाइटी की तरफ से आता है, जो एकेडमिक बैकग्राउंड्स की तरफ से आता है, वो ये है कि आपने इस चीज में पढ़ाई कर ली 4 साल, इसके बाद आपको इसी चीज में आगे बढ़ना है.
Uh,
तो वो और वो जाके मेरे ऐसा हो गया था कि ठीक है, मैंने 4 साल अगर डिजाइन में किया, सो I wanted to explore more things.
yeah.
I wanted to explore architecture. I wanted to explore psychology. I wanted to explore yoga. I wanted to go in that. But then the only thing I felt from coming from the generation X, the expectation from my side was कि 4 साल तुमने ये पढ़ाई की है, अब तुम मुझे बोल रहे हो कि तुम्हें कुछ और करना है,
अब
ये
पैसे भी
कैसे?
बर्बाद होंगे, टाइम
पैसे
भी
भी
बर्बाद हुआ.
है, हाँ, अब तो तुम्हारा टाइम भी बर्बाद हो गया, अब तुम 1 साल मैंने तुम सोच भी कैसे सकते हो इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में? तुमको तो अभी तक चालू कर देना चाहिए था जो तुम कर रहे हो ऑलरेडी. You studied something else, now you want to do something else, now you are telling me that ये भी अच्छा नहीं है, कुछ और करना है. So, when I graduated out of NIFT, I was expected to become a fashion designer.
Designer. Yeah.
Or then I went, okay, I've worked with these firms, I worked with a fashion firm. But then the lifestyle that I was living there and the fashion firm also was based on sustainability. It was helping the farmers out. It was a non-profit organization or a social enterprise.
Yeah.
And that changed a lot of things for me because I wanted to explore more things. I wanted to explore other organizations, which that place gave me the freedom to explore and work with.
Absolutely.
And
This
that
is,
is where the challenge came because I was not able to slow down myself.
yeah.
I wanted to concentrate on one thing that I was doing. And although it was not because I wanted to only work in design,
Mm.
I wanted to explore at least one thing. Okay, stay for a year, explore this properly, then step into something else.
True.
And that is the challenge which I felt there because um probably slightly coming from that generation also, that you've done something and you need to explore that field also. How can you
Yeah.
just skip into something else,
Just
something
jump into
altogether
something
new?
else. How can you do that?
How can you do that? What will happen? What will people say कि हमारी लड़की ने ये किया, अब वो कुछ और कर
अब वो
रही है?
क्या कर रही है?
अब मैं कैसे एक्सप्लेन कर सकता हूँ किसी को जाके? मुझसे क्या बोलूँ मैं? Whenever someone asks me what are you doing, I don't know what to say. We don't know what to
Yes.
tell.
So Gulshan,
So
thanks for sharing. And then I want to get for everybody in your generation. A lot of people in your age, in their mid 20s, they're fighting with this challenge,
yeah.
right? Um, because I meet a number of people, I talk to people, they come to me, I do counseling, we do group sessions. So
Mm-hmm.
for you and for the everybody watching this video, we would like to tell few things. Are you okay with it?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So our method of talking out here is known as Om.
Mm-hmm.
Om is the universal what, I
Sound.
guess,
Sound of the
sound
universe.
for which is coming to, and we pronounce it, we spell it as AUM.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this acronym we have used out here for everybody to live a life in an entirely different way.
Mm-hmm.
What do I mean? So we say कि हम लोग जब भी कुछ लाइफ में कुछ करते हैं, जब पेरेंट्स ने बोला कि तुमने ये पढ़ाई करी, अब तुम कुछ और करो, हम दुनिया को क्या बोलेंगे। मैं बोल रहा हूँ कुछ भी करने से पहले ओम फॉर्मूला को अप्लाई करता था। ओम मीन्स ए फॉर अवेयरनेस।
Mm-hmm.
First of all, be aware what's happening in you, with you, and around you. You means understand. Understand self with your concept. Understand others from their concept. A for awareness, U for understanding, M for move on, not take some action.
Mm-hmm.
Because challenge, what happens is people across the world, they directly jump to third step. M, action. अच्छा ये हो गया, अब क्या करें? अच्छा ऐसा हो गया, अब क्या करें? ऐसा बोल दिया, क्या करें? This is where I tell, Gulshan, with this challenge which you're facing, a lot of students facing, first be very aware. What is the awareness? When you did your course after your 10th selection between science, commerce, humanities,
Yeah.
you were a kid and you were not aware of what all was there in the world, and you could not match the your strength with the options available. And majority of children across the world, they take some subject as per their parents want them to take it.
Yeah, or
ये
other
कर लो
people around them are talking about.
around you,
Mm-hmm.
because people like us has not explored the world. तो जितनी थोड़ी नॉलेज मुझे है और थोड़ी
Hmm.
बहुत नॉलेज आस पड़ोसी दे जाते हैं, यार दोस्त दे
Huh.
जाते हैं, ये करा दे अपने बच्चे को.
Mhm. That's true. That's true. That's so true.
So Gulshan, first be very aware that it's nothing right, nothing wrong. You came through a stage and today you are confused because you did not study something that was matching your strength of your life. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking life strength.
Yeah.
That means something, some trait you were born with. Now you studied that, you did some course, but let's talk about understanding out of it. Now when you studied, you did some course and now you feel इसमें मजा नहीं आ रहा है,
Hmm.
मेरे को तो ये एक्सप्लोर करना, मुझे लगता है शायद this is where I'll perform better. Now you're confused.
Mm-hmm.
You are at the beginning of your career. I have seen people, I meet people in corporate with 20, 25, 35 years of experience. They're just working for the sake of working, कि पैसा कमाना है, घर कैसे चलेगा, परेशान है,
And
खुश
that's
नहीं
what's
है,
actually.
फ्रस्ट्रेटेड है.
Yeah. This is
Yeah,
this
what
is
are you
what
saying?
scares me. This is what you're saying. It's actually it scares me because I have seen people like that.
Yes.
And it is so scary to look at them working just for the sake of working and just for the sake of earning money. And also, can I can I share a story on based on this?
Yeah.
So basically, here in Australia, or in any other Western culture, probably you must have heard of, working as a casual worker. So
Yeah.
while you're studying, while you're people doing PhD, people studying at the university, or travelers coming from overseas, uh, Australian government gives you a humongous opportunity to work wherever you want to work here because they don't have um, a classism in the society, that a
Yeah.
certain class can only work for a certain in
Mhm.
a certain place. So everybody has this. It's in the culture to work in
Like you're saying, for
restaurants,
example, work for a
cafes.
McDonald cafe or
हाँ,
something.
cafes में work करना, McDonald's में work करना और ये सब करना. So we came here and of course we started applying for jobs and I got a nice. I work at a cafe called H&A Coffee House. It's a nice small coffee house next to the sea, next to the beach, and it is owned by a Polish couple,
Okay.
and they're in their 60s. And the lady, and who her name is Hannah, she actually comes from a business family back in Poland. So she also used to have, like, her mom used to own a cafe in Poland, and we started working there, and it runs really fine. It's a really good restaurant. Now that Hannah is actually touching her late 50s, she wanted to really go back, meet
Okay.
her family, be with her mom,
Mm.
be with her cousins, be with
Okay.
her friends back in Poland. But she's not able to do it because she's here running this cafe and they don't even shut the cafe for a single day.
True.
Not even for a single day. And I look at her, even though she wanted to do this all her life, still at this stage of her life, she's only doing it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
She's got nothing else to do. She's only in that cafe. She opens in the morning at 7 o'clock,
Yeah.
leaves at 9 o'clock in the night, then again comes back, then again 9 o'clock in the night, again comes back. Not even a single day that she is not at that cafe, not working in the same place.
She has to be there.
She has to be there because nobody else can do what she can do there. So she
Exactly.
hasn't been anywhere else in Adelaide. Like I kept asking her because they've been living here for 30 years. I kept asking her, Hannah, have you visited this place? Have you done this? She's like, no, Gul, I don't know what you're talking about.
Thank you very much for sharing such a lovely aspect that you connected it so well.
Yeah.
And this is where I would like to say that she has reached around her 60s, but you are in your 25, like in mid 20s. So, what I want to tell as a coach, as a life coach, um, all across everybody, um, generally, we people have seen our parents, and
Mm-hmm.
most of us in our age, they have actually studied something which may or may not be their strength,
Yeah.
and they continued that as their career for next 35, 40 years,
Mm-hmm.
and they have, pardon me to use this language, have actually spoiled their life.
Yeah.
I myself a mechanical engineer, and I
Mm-hmm.
am no more doing anything on work mechanicals. And last 20 plus years I am into, people call me people engineer.
That's a nice
So,
word.
I changed completely.
Yeah.
And when I changed, uh, people in my society ask me, my family ask me, ये क्या है, लोग क्या बोलेंगे, तुमने इंजीनियरिंग करी, तुम ये क्या कर रहे हो, तुम लोगों से बात करो, 20 साल पहले तुम माइंड की बात करते हैं इन ईस्टर्न कंट्रीज, तुम पागलों के बारे में बात करोगे, आर यू मैड? But I am today successful. One,
Mm-hmm.
I am enjoying every moment of it. Okay?
That's
My
really
energy at 6 in the morning and 12 in the night,
it's
if
the
I'm doing
same.
this thing, same. People say, how can you manage your energy? So
Mm.
what I'm trying to say, Gulshan, that you all youngsters, you have another anything 25 to 35, 40 years to make your career. To
Yeah.
don't spoil it. You
Yeah.
did something perfect. Now you know what are you doing to do. Evaluate. Now you are
Yeah.
aware. Understand the gap. Gap is that you did something, somebody invested on you, they're questioning you, align with them, make them
Mm-hmm.
understand. See, uh, I was not aware at that time क्या करना कर लिया अच्छा करा काम हो गया but if I be there
Hmm.
I'll be unhappy all throughout my life.
Yeah.
Do you want me to be happy or just to prove to the community?
Hmm. Yeah, that's really important, I
Does that
think.
make sense?
Yeah.
Now this is where most of the millennials and Gen Z they love connecting with me because I don't tell them like anything like traditional Gen X people. नहीं ये गलत कर रहे हो ये
ये
झूठ
गलत कर रहे हो, ये नहीं करना चाहिए.
ऐसे करना चाहिए ऐसा करना
Yeah.
so Gulshan, I hope you got my point.
Yes,
But you can
absolutely.
only do this if you are aware, A, you understand yourself, you. Once
Yes.
your A and you is clear, then your M, moving on, will be
Mhm.
fruitful. Why
Yes.
I'm sharing this as a last thing which I would like to share before we move on. Uh, at your age, you know this is my what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you fight, you're not still happy. Either you land up into your
Yeah.
profession and unhappy with your relationship with your parents, with your known people, friends, around anybody, or you satisfy them, work as per them, you are unhappy all throughout your life.
Mm.
Any one aspect, that whichever you are unhappy, will keep you unhappy for lifelong. Even being materialistically, whatever success or other way, whatever you achieve in your life,
Yeah.
and the person like you who had been in Auroville for such a long time, I can understand that you all are people who have moved on and away from the social norms. You don't really want to be stuck with that. Minimalism is one thing you people like.
Yeah, it's not, yeah, it's not about liking or disliking. Basically, I think Orville taught me more about social relationships, social
Living.
ethics, how to
Uh,
live really in
living.
a society, how to
Yeah,
be with people around you, which I
perfect.
never which I never learned outside Orville, because there I
Right.
actually felt can that you can create connections with people. You really
Absolutely.
don't have to be uh, for the sake of maintaining a relationship. You don't have to do that. You can actually be in a community, be with people around you, share your feelings with them, share your food with them, share your living with them. So Orville was the place which taught me to be more sensitive towards the people that I'm living with. Before I didn't have this. Before I was just, yeah, okay, neighbors हैं. हाँ जी आंटी, नमस्ते आंटी. ठीक है आंटी, okay, bye auntie. वो था. When that place is very special
But
actually.
you're lucky, Gulshan, that you was Auroville and everyone around, even your neighbors, live with the same concept. But how to live into the world whereby others don't live in this concept? You
Yeah.
and your neighbors and others, they are not. Then how do you actually start implementing that learning that you got from Auroville?
Yeah, that's also a challenge, but then sometimes when you carry something within you, you start spreading it, and something which is
Yeah,
so powerful that
yeah,
you've lived already. एक तो होता है कि you read about a philosophy कि हाँ
yeah.
people can live like this, you have to spread love, you have to be like this.
Mm,
And एक होता है when you experience it
true.
and then you take it with you. So you automatically start doing it with other people. And I think in every human being, there is a special element to connect with others.
Yeah.
So if you start doing it, everybody's around you, they might take some time, but they start doing it. Like that's what happened with me. I
It
faced a
always
lot of
happen.
that.
You're
Yeah.
right. Absolutely.
पहले लोग हिचकिचाते हैं, but then धीरे धीरे
When you
it
are
happens.
consistent. they get
Yeah, when
attracted to
you're
you. Yeah,
consistent with your
yeah.
actions, with your
Wow.
compassion, then it happens.
You give a very powerful message to everybody out here that if you are even facing the odds, be consistent, and
We
then
can.
people would follow you because
Absolutely.
they're just trying to test you कि तुम्हारे में कितना दम कितना है तुम्हारे में.
एक टाइम के बाद सामने वाले को भी लगता है यार कि
बंदे
you
में
know
कुछ है.
this is how it is supposed to be. This is the and this is just simple. This is simple living. हम जब ऐसा कुछ करते हैं, it's just the
हाँ,
simplest way of approaching someone,
true.
and that is acceptable to everybody, I think.
And
Few
Gulshan, what you're
people,
saying is very authentic because people all across the globe are wanting to live like this, but they're unable
absolutely,
to get away from their traditions, social norms, and they're
yeah,
stuck.
and they're
Wow,
stuck. They're just
great.
shielded.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gulshan, that's so interesting talking to you. Um, Thanks for lovely message. And I would
So,
uh, want you to, before we close for the day today, thank you very much for joining. And
no, thank
you gave such an important message to everybody. So, can you give a last single line message to all the viewers? What one message you would want all the people in their 20s that they should carry from you?
we started off from being slow, but then I would just like to say that being consistent in what we do, a particular thing, even though when you're exploring other things, because there'll be so many things that you want to explore now and also in future. There'll
Yeah,
be so many new things coming up to explore. But just be consistent with uh, what you really want to explore or what you really want to do, and everything else could just become, you know, your hobby. You can
yeah,
start enjoying it, because if we don't become consistent with जो आपने word use किया है consistent, I think I could just connect it so much, because if you're not consistent with even a single thing that we are doing,
yeah.
then we just don't enjoy it. It's half-heartedly done. Everything is half-heartedly done. So that's what I really would like to send across. Consistency is the way to discipline, actually. That's how you
Thank
create
you.
discipline in your life.
Thank you, Gulshan, for this such a lovely message. And I decipher your message with one step further. It's not only about you. When you are consistent,
Mm-hmm.
people also like you, accept you
Yeah.
because for your consistency. Thank you very much for this message. And through you, I would say a message from my side to everybody in 20s that Gulshan started with a lovely topic um, like about slowing down, and she gave a very particular point for our awareness and understanding that are we really looking for that? Are we running after something because we saw something or somebody?
Mm-hmm.
Have that clarity. It's okay to run for something which you're liking, but differentiate between your passion and fascination. Most of the time, we waste our time, resources running after fascination, and after some days we feel, "Arey yaar, ye kya ho gaya?"
Yeah.
So it's no harm in trying, but if you are able to follow this acronym, our formula, AUM, be aware, understand it, you'll know what is really appropriate for you. And then you'll not get stuck, you'll not waste your time, resources, and you'll be growing fast. So, with this message and Gulshan's message of being consistent, live happily ever, be super excited, um, be
Curious.
successful, and make this world a different place. The world is waiting from all the millennials and generation Z to transform this. यहाँ पे जो फर्स्ट कहना है इतना हो गया. Let's get
Mm,
back to our natural living. Thank you,
absolutely.
Gulshan. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Once
It
again,
was,
thanks you very much for joining today,
thank you. It was really
Gulshan.
nice.
And bye-bye, everybody, and Happy New Year once to everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.